Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, whether it's an old one or a new one. Here are readings for more or less December. These energies are coming in with the sun in Sagittarius, and it's already there. So whenever you watch it, it's probably a good time for you to watch it. This time I'm using 3 decks. The Silver Witchcraft Tarot deck for general reading, Mariel Tarot, only major arcanas for the general energy for each sign, and Witches Tarot as a modifier. I will only choose 1 card for each decan of the sign, which is a novelty. So, that's it. And now, onto your reading. Enjoy. Hello Cancer, here's a reading for you for December 2017, more or less. First I'm going to draw 1 card from Mariel Tarot, major arcanas only. Please guide me for Cancer, Sun, Moon or Rising. This one. You have the Chariot, which is your card. Very beautiful. Forces united. Cancer and Chariot, leaving the obstacles behind. Triumph of will and of mind. Maturity and wisdom come from courageously engaging the difficulties and challenges of life. The art of success lies in knowing when to surrender and when to take control. So, success of some kind, mastery, control and will. And overcoming obstacles, as I said. Successful engagement in life. Mariel Tarot usually has very special meanings. Let me just look at this. Willing is not enough, we must do. Yeah, that's right. This is 7. The Chariot is very central to the understanding of the Tarot. It's a glyph, a map of the soul, of God, of the universe. Yeah, applying knowledge, control over your life and free will, conscious intent, action, travel, movement. Sometimes it's just a car, but sometimes, yeah, it's moving, traveling, journey. But most of all, I feel it's always integrating your forces together to go further, to, as I said, overcome obstacles and the triumph of your will over obstacles. Beautiful card for you, Cancer. Let's look at the rest of your cards. I have them here. They are already shuffled. I'm just gonna cut them. Please guide me for Sun, Moon and Rising Cancer. What do we have here? We'll see in a minute or two. This is a heptapod spread, which is very effective, very concrete. It tells you what to focus on, what's the base of what's going on, etc., etc. But first, let's look at the background energy, and it's King of Pentacles. I felt this somehow, that you're going to have Pentacles. So when I see King of Pentacles, I think you own it. You really know what to do with life. This is the background energy, so we'll see what's in the cards, but generally I have this feeling of mastery, being very independent but still responsible and successful. Let's see, the first card is you, the Chariot. Again, what did I say? Creating something new out of opposites, opposing forces. There are always black and white creatures on the Chariot card, and together they work. and together they overcome something. And as you can see, they're bringing this new child into the world like a gift, like a bliss, with great gratefulness. I love it. So we have the chariot, but for all solar cancers, I also want to draw modifiers. As you perhaps know, all the signs of Zodiac are divided into, each sign is divided into 3 decans. The first decan is the first 10 days of the sign. So if you were born in June, more or less, you're the first decan of Cancer. Then next 10 days is the second decan, the beginning of July till the 10th of July, more or less. And then from the 10th to more or less 20th, it depends on the year because it shifts a little. So until the summer solstice, you have the third decan, okay? The last 10 days of the sign. So I'm going to draw 1 card for each decan. Please guide me for solar cancers. We have the star for the first decan. Beautiful, beautiful. The 7 of Wands for the second decan. It's also beautiful. I like the sparring energy. And the third decan, 2 of Swords. Choices. Perhaps it's about bringing together the mind and the heart, opening them and bringing them together because they are both blocked here. So for the first decan, it looks very promising because it seems you overcome obstacles, you go where you want, and you know where you want to go. With a star, there's this feeling that I know my way. I know it's a good way. I know precisely that it is what is supposed to be, right? With 7 of Wands, you can see the obstacles are quite visible here. There are some people against you, and you stand your ground. Generally, I love this card because it's like a sport for me. This card, when you have 7 of Wands, it's the life taking you to a match, like a football match or a tennis game, and saying, let's play, let's see who's the strongest here. Can you withstand? But it's not, it's not life or death game. No, it's just a game. It's to have fun. So have fun with overcoming obstacles. And the third decan, as I said, the choice to be made, which is hard because your heart and your mind don't speak the same things. But I think the answer here is to listen to them both very carefully. Do not try to blindfold yourself, but also do not try to block your heart. On this card you can see the lady is trying to block out everything, her heart and her sight, so her mind, to choose within. But somehow I feel the answer is in taking this off and unblocking your heart, and then you're ready to go. Then you know more, perhaps, and you feel more. Let's look at the other cards. Cancer. The force from above is the Emperor, so a structure of some kind. But what did I say about responsibility? I had this feeling that whatever you do it because you're responsible and because you own it. It's yours, so you take care. Emperor is very masculine energy. So they need to structure something, they need to have peace and order, and acting accordingly. This is very decisive reading for me so far. It reminds me of the reading for Aquarius for some reason. Let's look at what the Emperor is looking at, because he's looking to the past. And he's seeing Page of Chalices, which is quite a different energy. Page of Chalices for me is about discovering your feelings and being quite surprised about it. Discovering something new as far as your heart energy is concerned. Being very innocent in this. Innocent and happy with what you discover. Ready to share. Ready to develop. There's great openness in this card. I wonder why the Emperor... It's like the Emperor is looking back at this with this slight nostalgia, I feel. But so perhaps this is a fragility you might have had before, but now it's time, to rule the world. It's like you say, okay, now I can't afford this now. I need to focus on overcoming obstacles. I need to focus on this material world I have around me, because if I don't rule it, who else will? Great, I like it. It doesn't mean you'll never be like this anymore, no. Of course you will, but perhaps not in December. Let's look, what's the difficulty? What's the challenge? The moon. I felt like this because this is a very flowing energy, very watery energy, the energy of Pisces, the energy of intuition. And perhaps you have, with all this masculinity here, and decisiveness, and, going forward and being proactive, perhaps you have difficulties with tapping to those murky waters of feeling and intuition. It can also indicate that something is not clear, and it is a challenge for you because you would like everything to be very bright and clear and translucent even. How to overcome this, or how to cope with this? Maybe not overcome. I don't feel overcoming. There's enough overcoming here and there. How to cope with this moon? With the world, wow. Major arcanas, a lot, so I feel it may be quite an important time in your life. Maybe not very changing, but establishing your power. You may feel that it's you may feel great. Yeah, and it's exactly the same what I had with Aquarius. That you may feel very much in power. And it may make you stronger for a long time. This may be a life-changing experience in this way. Because we usually say about life-changing experiences when we see death, right? The card of death, the card of judgment. All these kinds of great transforming energies, the tower, the change. Here, I don't see change. I see enduring. I see success. I see this proactive energy and overcoming obstacles, also the obstacles within you. Really enforcing yourself, really making yourself stronger in a very stable and persistent way. The persistence of this makes you stronger, not the change, not the fluctuation. This is very stable, and I feel that for some of you this is a rare and very precious experience. Okay, so the world is ending of a cycle. So it's like seeing that everything that happened before, all these obstacles, all these changes and fluctuations before, has led you to this, and you see the sense in it. And perhaps the sense is so great that there is absolutely no problem in just, being with this moon. Okay, I don't have to know everything. I don't need to understand everything. I don't need to see everything. I see enough. And I've seen enough. And I've learned enough. And I had my hard times. But now I see why. I see why. And I'm okay with this. Great lesson. This is the Saturn card. Tough teacher. Bringing obstacles to your life. Obstacles, restrictions. But when you withstand, the price is really great. And the feeling you may have is the price here. This feeling that, wow, I did it. I am. I am who I am. Look at me. I like it. I like my power. I like being King of Pentacles on my Four of Wands, even if my experiences were hard. But now, look at me. Look at me. I'm happy in my garden. And I'm ready to begin something new. This is at the bottom of the deck. But let's see what's here. What's your strength this month? Five of Wands. Ha! Listening to many voices. Yeah, it sounds... wow. I really like it because, you know, I have this feeling of great spiritual maturity here. And awakening. You may feel awakened. So awakened that the Five of Wands energy, which is generally about conflict and friction, is not a problem anymore. It's not a problem anymore. It's life. Life looks like this sometimes. What I like about this card in this deck is that it shows that when you look at different directions, you see more. You have this panoramic view here. 360 degrees around. And when you communicate this, you all know more. You know more than just this lady. Oh, sorry. Than just this one. Okay? And you know more than just this one. And you know more than just this one. And you know more than just this one. That's also what's fine in conflict, what's positive and building in conflict, that we are able to see many facets of the situation. And again, I feel you own it. You're okay with this because you're above. You're above. It doesn't. You're not attached to any of the sides. Like you're able to look and see. Okay. You may think this, you may think that. I may think in another way, yet another way. And it's okay. And it's a possibility to learn, and it's a possibility to draw out something from this, something that is more profound than each and every one of these wands. Because finally, one direction prevails. And the states of conflict is very... is necessary for this one direction to prevail. Yeah? So that's your strength. I feel you don't really engage in any of the sides. You're not really drawn into, fighting, because you see the profit in this. Great. That's great. Now, what to focus on? The Six of Swords. Look at this card. Harmony. Harmony in your mind. I think it's again learning a lesson and making it, how to say it, minimalist. That's the feeling I have here. But you've experienced so much, and perhaps you've been through tough times. As I said, overcoming obstacles is the theme here. But what I feel is the need for synthesis of some kind, and really taking what's most important for you, for your boat to be light. Because you're on the calmer waters now. You're moving. There's a lot of movement here. This chariot and the Six of Swords, it's moving towards a better position. Leaving something very hazy and fluctuating behind. Now, calm waters. And a friendly heaven in front of you. So it's like this card is saying, keep on moving to this direction. Just keep on moving. Stay calm, stay collected. Take only what you really need. It has reminded me about the difference between what we want and what we need. Think about what you need, not what you want. Because what you want usually clutters your life. Makes it dense with unnecessary things, unnecessary feelings, unnecessary thoughts. Not what you want, what you need. Take only this and follow. Keep on, because you're doing very well. You're strong. And you may be even stronger, is what I feel. Just don't take unnecessary things with you. Okay? The last card that I like to call a vista, so something you need to see, something worth seeing. It can also be a result. It can also be an advice. But I like to call it a view, you know. Three of Pentacles, great work. Great work. Three of Pentacles is Mars in Capricorn. And it's creating something of value. So it's a good time for persistent work on a high level of competence. Because as I said, you own it. You own it. And you know enough. Know this, you know enough. You don't need to you don't need to fight the moon. This is important for you to hear. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to be perfect. Because the perfection, human perfection, lies in imperfections. So there's no need for everything to be clear. Absolutely not. It's enough. Look, it's enough. The world says it's enough. You hear many voices and you're able to embrace them. Embrace only what you need and move on to the great work, because you're doing a great work. Keep on. Wow! I like it. And I feel this is also for me, because Cancer is my moon sign. I don't think you need a healing card here, because it looks so coherent, you know, very solid. It looks very solid to me. So just keep on working like this, because what you do is something of value. Yeah, my fingers crossed. Thank you, Cancer, for your time. It was a pleasure for me to read this. May the universe bless you, and see you next month.